Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and these are the news. Polish opposition parties have decided to form a single bloc, named the European Coalition, to contest the European parliamentary elections which take place in May. The declaration was signed by several former prime ministers and two former ministers of foreign affairs. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the Round Table, the agreement between the communist junta ruling Poland and selected members of the anti-communist opposition. Today, people from both sides of the so-called Round Table have agreed to stand together in the European elections.
A conference concerning the European parliamentary elections took place at the Foxhall Media Centre in Warsaw. Several former Polish prime ministers and ministers of foreign affairs signed a declaration calling for the European coalition. Today, it's an appeal, it's a declaration, it's a show of our will that we can and want to be united. The document includes an appeal to all opposition parties to create a single electoral list for the upcoming European Parliament elections. The alleged possibility of poll exit was once again used as an argument in support. A wave of divisions and hatred, backed by the propaganda and lies, flows not only through Poland but also across Europe. A definite majority of Poles want something else, for Poland to be a member of a united EU, because that will provide peace and security. The declaration was signed by Grzegorz Schetyna, Radosław Sikorski, Ewa Kopacz, Jerzy Buzek, Kazimierz Marcinkiewicz, Leszek Miller, Włodzimierz Cimoszewicz, Marek Belka, Hanna Suchocka and Adam Daniel Rotfeld.
Members of this coalition will proudly represent our country.
Everyone who feels the way we do about the EU should unite. We appeal to all political groups to be active, to be efficient. Our homeland is full of troubles and divisions, but the answer to those are the gold stars and the blue of the EU. It's about having competent people there. It's important not only for Poland, but for the EU as well. The stakes in the upcoming elections are very high. The Speaker of the Senate, Stanisław Karczewski, is of a different opinion. Some say that they will be throwing rocks at us, others that we will be jumping out of windows, but they will not succeed. Creating a wide electoral list for the European Parliament may be not as easy as it seems, says columnist Marek Król. Their chances are minimal, because when you dig up such political dinosaurs as Suchocka, Miller or Cimoszewicz, then it means that the civic coalition is very desperate. There are no new options, only a slogan: let's at least get back to what we once had before. The elections for the European Parliament will take place in May this year.
This has been an extraordinarily intensive week for the Central Anti-Corruption Bureau. Today, CBA officers in Szczecin arrested a businessman from the Podkarpacie province and two workers from Grupy Azoty chemical company.
According to the Central Anti-Corruption Bureau, the businessman from Podkarpackie induced a worker of the Grupy Azoty company to conclude an unfavorable contract for the delivery of raw materials needed to produce fertilizers for the company.
The United States Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, announced today that the United States is suspending the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. The United States accuses Russia of breaching the provisions of the treaty, accusations which the Kremlin denies. Experts worry that the suspension of the treaty, a centerpiece of European security since the Cold War, could start a new arms race.
Russia has jeopardized the United States' security interest, and we can no longer be restricted by the treaty while Russia shamelessly violates it. If Russia does not return to full and verifiable compliance with the treaty within this 6-month period, by verifiably destroying its INF-violating missiles, the United States stands ready to engage with Russia on arms control negotiations that advance U.S. and allied and partner security and are verifiable and enforceable. Must also include all the partners. They must all responsibly comply with their obligations. As we remain hopeful of a fundamental shift in Russia's posture, the United States will continue to do what is best for our people and those of our allies.
The Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs supports the decision of the United States.
We support the United States' decision on suspension of the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. This decision is justified by the long-term breaking of the treaty by Russia. We expect Russia to return to a full and verified compatibility with the treaty.
The Prime Minister's office was full of children today. During their visit, the children explored the building and learned its history. They had the opportunity to see the most interesting rooms in which important decisions are made, foreign guests are received, and press conferences are held.
Welcome. I appreciate your punctuality. Some politicians could learn punctuality from you. Have you had a sightseeing of the Chancellery? Did you like it? Maybe some of you will work here one day. Maybe here. The children took part in an informal council of ministers. Among the questions they asked were: is the Prime Minister's job difficult? What is the Premier's favorite sport? How did the table tennis adventure begin? And does he still have time to play sport? The children also invited Mateusz Morawiecki to visit their schools. The visiting children and teenagers are pupils of the following sports clubs: Szkolny Klub Sportowy 40 Warszawa, SLKS Olimpijczyk Jerzewo and Klub Sportowy Bogoria Grodzisk Mazowiecki.
That's it from the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more from Poland Daily. But from me, it's have a good night and have a better tomorrow.